Here it is, the Love and Hip Hop New York, Season 4, Episode 4, Review, Recap, and Opinion. And this episode is titled, Picture This. At the end of the video, I will talk about my Amina butterfly tweet, but first, let's get into this review. So the episode begins where it left off. At the Rustic in Brooklyn, the fight between Tira, the vampire slayer, and Queen Akasha, aka Amina Butterfly. And Tira's hands were flying like a butterfly and stinging like a bad actress. The fight didn't even look convincing because of all of that slapping. I mean, I haven't seen someone slap that much since E Honda from Street Fighter. And Amina is so crazy that her vampire emotions are causing her to just laugh hysterically and raise her hands in celebration of victory. I mean, she got some vampire scratches in on Tira, so she won't be human too much longer if you consider that to be a victory. And Rich Dollars stands up there and calls up Peter to cry about the mayhem and how it's bad for business. Yet he was just standing there and smiling and enjoying the altercation. Now remember this, aspiring artist, Yandy and Rich put up this facade that they are business orientated people, yet Rich sleeps with his talent and Yandy and Rich set people up to slap box. And after it's all said and done, they claim that they're just all about business. They could barely even start the company and it's already looking like Death Row Records. And it's a shame because Tupac's been dead for about 18 years now and his career is still bigger than Olivia's. I'm just glad that the scene is over because Yandy's outfit looks like fire and water. Like if heaven and hell fought each other and hell won. And then to make it worse, her purse looks like a homeless woman's diaper bag. The next time I see Yandy dressed like somebody's gay grandmother, I'm going to write a letter to VH1. Probably the only thing that shocked me about this altercation was the fact that Yandy was being so aggressive towards Amina. Like this situation was deeply personal to her or something. And it made me think about Yandy's old beef with Chrissy. Remember when she was so scared of Chrissy that she was hopping over tables and running out of clubs to avoid her? And now you want to play Don King and set up fist fights? I wish when Yandy was grilling Amina at that table, I just so wish that Yandy would have turned around and see Chrissy sitting there cracking her knuckles and smiling. Oh, and speaking of Chrissy and Jimmy are so crazy that I had to stop reviewing their show. I was about to start saying some stuff that was going to get me in trouble, and I didn't want to end up like Samaya Reese's manager, Maurice. Remember when they had him up in the camera, squeezing his face like somebody's grandma trying to get a kiss? Having him apologize? Yeah, I was going to say some stuff that was going to melt that chocolate chip on Chrissy's mouth. So I walked away from that show fast. Mama Jones. I just had to get that last one in. Anyway, in the next scene, Saigon is having a birthday pool party. And he has his paternity test results for Erica Jean's son. He sits down with Erica and of course, the baby is his child. No surprise there. But did you notice Saigon's little peach colored button up? It had a tampon string hanging from the sleeve. He would have removed it, but the Goodwill costume would have fallen apart. Thrift shop Saigon. Nothing wrong with it. You can find some good buys there. I'm gonna pop some. I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry. Now, is it just me or does this chick, Erica Jean's voice sound like a deaf person? I guess it's because of that gape in her mouth. Not a gap, but a gape. When you're using pencils for toothpicks and shoestrings for floss, you know you have a problem. I mean, I can see her now trying to be cute or nibbling on Saigon's ear. Excuse me, let me say it like her. Nibbling on Saigon's ears. And when his ear gets caught in that gap. Nah, but seriously. That thing is a straw holder. For real. Erica baby mouth Jean. She got 3 rows of teeth. A bottom row and 2 on the top. 1 on each side. I mean, how is your mouth going to have more space than Tira's apartment? I'm just saying. So Saigon opens up his paternity test results and it reads 99.9998% accurate compared to an untested, unrelated random individual of the black population. So that means that there's a very small percentage that Brian or Saigon isn't the father. No one's surprised. I mean, they have similar genetics. Anyway, Saigon is so happy that he opened his mouth wider than a gay man at the dentist. Seriously. He looked like he was having a gay orgasm. His mouth was all the way open. His mouth was hinged back like a snake. But forget all of that. Did anybody notice how dirty these New York guys are? Saigon must have wiped and broke the tissue in his ass because he left a big old biz skid marquee on his paternity test results. You want to see that chocolate smudge? How did you miss it? Anyway, these two decide that dating is their best option. Saigon wants to make sure that when they become an official couple, that they will be 100% committed. I mean, why get divorced later? If Saigon didn't have that corny rap beef with Joe Budden years ago, he could pass this advice to slumber party buttons. Saigon is so happy about the test results that he begins screaming to everyone at the party, "The boy is mine!" Which is proof that Saigon spent way too much time in jail. That's something that you say about a new inmate walking in. By the way, Brandy and Monica want a royalty check for singing "The Boy Is Mine." Something Saigon has never seen, a royalty check. Oh boy, I hope I never meet this guy in person. He's gonna. Anyway, so now that it's official and the baby is yours, Saigon, I hope that you're gonna take old rabbit mouth jewelry shopping to celebrate. Now, I don't know how many beer can tabs it took to make that necklace she's wearing, but it wasn't worth it. I mean, don't have your baby's mother looking like she won the gold medal in boxing at the Special Olympics. I mean, between the missing tooth, the lisp, and that necklace, you gotta do better, son. I'm just saying. She's fine as hell, though. She's fine. Now, here's an exclusive. Come to find out, I read on somebody's blog that Erica Jean is related to Michael's ex-girlfriend, Billy. The one he said wasn't his lover? Yeah, I fooled you, didn't I? In our next scene, we're at Tira's apartment. The young lady that lived in the shoe steps out to throw out some of Peter Gunn's belongings, such as his shoes, which we all know that he needs. And she even brings some of his instruments to the tag sale. It looks like an R&B music video out there. You know, the ones from the 90s when the woman kicks the man out? I'm just waiting for R. Kelly to pop up and piss on them. Tira's acting is at its worst in this scene. Her emotions and actions do not match. She calmly yet savagely beats on Peter. I mean, he's covered with all kinds of red marks. This waffle color, two-time, earthworm Jim looking motherfucker had more red marks on him than Little Scrappy's homework. And did you peep how Tira's right eye was red and scratched up? That's what happens when you get scratched by a vampire. Tira's already looking different. So after arguing about nothing, Tira goes back into the shoe and Peter's left outside with his garbage. I mean belongings. Let's move along. Now we arrive at the GMT Tavern in Greenwich Village, New York City. Yandy and Rich are outside of the restaurant, and as usual, Rich is having a drink. Every time Rich has a drink, I'm going to point it out. I'm not playing. When he's not in the confessional, he always has a drink. And Yandy's outfit, she has another terrible outfit again. It looks like a peacock committed suicide. No, forget a peacock. It looked like a shit cock. No homophobia intended. Yandy doesn't want to sign who should have and could have been her flagship artist. She's not concerned with Amina at all at this point. She wants to launch L'Oreal and relaunch Olivia's dead career. She claims that that's where the money is. And she must be going to run drugs in the tour bus because these chicks are tax write-offs. They must have signed 360 deals because there's no other way they're going to make any money off of them. They're not going to sell any records. You'll never recoup, even if they produce their own songs. Moving along. Now that we're at the Rye Beach in Rye, New York, Erica, Mena, and Sin Santana are looking extra beautiful at the beach. Erica has a picnic basket and she looks like Little Red Riding Hood. We just need the big bad dehydrated wolf to show up. But we'll get to Rich in a minute. I have to mention that Erica has on no makeup and she looks so good. If she does, in fact, have none on, it's a wrap for all other women. She shut the show down. This is prime pretty girl material. I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm happy to see that she whitened her teeth since the last episode. Either that or she stopped brushing her teeth with eggs. So Sin and Erica are talking, and pretty much the conversation is going like this. Erica wants to work with Rich Dollars again. Sin doesn't approve of it. And in my opinion, even though she said it's all about that song that he gave to Erica and then took back, I think Sin knows that she can't compete with Rich Dollars because Rich Dollars has more money than her. And if you think about it, at the end of the day, Erica still has this odd connection with Rich. I guess it's over money. But anyway, on a side note, if I ever get married, I'm marrying a Latina. Sin Santana would sell her soul for Chipotle. And if my wallet wasn't as flat as Miley Cyrus's ass, I'd buy Erica and Sin some Chipotle in exchange for licking a toe or something. I don't know. I know, I'm wrong. Now we're at Joe Budden's house. Tahiry, as always, or should I say, as always, has a multitude of butt shots. They took enough shots of her ass to make a calendar, not a monthly calendar, but enough to have a different picture for every day of the year, and that's on a leap year. And I'm going to put it all out there right now. Tahiry doesn't even have all that nice of a body. Her butt is big, but it looks like a microwave marshmallow to me. It's not particularly round, and it droops a bit. She needs to work out and get some butt muscles going. Now, Erica Mena and Erica Jean, on the other hand, now they have great butts. I'm just saying. Anyway, Tahiry and Joe, the new Bobby and Whitney, have their therapist visiting for a session. Derek K. Watkins makes a visit to, quote, help them in a relationship that should have never happened. So after a quick Masonic handshake with Joe Budden, Derek acts like he doesn't see the Rolaids in Joe Budden's left hand. Apparently, sleeping around gives Joe heartburn. No, I'm kidding. That was juice. Anyway, now it's time to check the Meat Magazine's True Stories Dictionary. Let me look it up here. Relationship therapist. There it goes. Relationship therapist. Noun. A mason, aka trained liar, who keeps idiots in volatile relationships together for as long as possible to profit off of people that should break up immediately. Wow. I gotta look into my personal dictionary more often. They are basically discussing the fake scene from last week's episode where Joe and Tahiry had an argument about some imaginary friend that was rubbing, quote, her face on Joe Budden's pillow, when in reality it was Joe Budden after a night of drunken cross-dressing. He fell asleep and tried to hide the pillowcases at the last minute to hide the evidence from Tahiry. That's all that was. No, but seriously, did you notice how Joe, now I know this had to piss a lot of women off. Joe was acting like as if talking with a woman in Tahiry's bed without her consent is completely normal. You might be saying, well, why is he doing this? The reason why is he's training Tahiry's stupefied female brain and psyche to understand that she is replaceable. You see, society pumps women up to believe that they're above men. So what Joe Budden is doing is he's knocking her down a few notches and letting her know when she goes on her trip, she better think about him and what he's doing and know that he may be doing something with someone even though he's not going to be doing that, just to scare her into not stepping outside of the relationship. That's all he's doing. Okay? Now, she's not my cup of tea, but there's plenty of guys that like her out there. So why would she be with Joe Budden after he does the stuff that he does? Oh, that's right, because y'all like being treated like that. I'm just saying. So Tahiry was highly upset by his alleged conversation on the bed. She's about to crap her leggings and yada, yada, yada. She's sticking with Joe. She's pretending that she's going to leave him, but she's going to stick with him through everything that he put her through, yada, yada, yada. I have no sympathy for their corny storyline. They annoy me, and I hope that these two dysfunctional adults and their teenage love story don't return next season. because I'm through with the "he did me wrong" nonsense. Tahiry, Tara, and the rest of them are the reason why when women speak, I listen, but I don't take anything they say seriously. I just pay attention to what they do and move like that. In the next scene, we're at Amina's house with Peter and Amina. And as soon as Peter walks in, he's looking down and looking shady and shisty. See, when Peter was in the streets, he was obviously a shooter. When you assassinate a person, you got to look at the floor so that you don't step on or kick anything and accidentally alert the intended target. And I swear that he's about to off Amina as quietly as possible. Shh. Amina asks, what kind of evil bitch did he have kids with? It says that Tara punched her in the face. Peter is making it seem like it's Amina's fault, as deflection works great on women. He is smooth talking the shit out of Amina. He even makes fun of Amina's fight with Tara and says that he can teach her how to box to avoid being hit. What a jerk. He is a total jerk. No wonder he has 2 women. He treats women like dirt and they let him lift up the skirts. So now we're at Rashida's apartment in Jersey City, New Jersey. And Tahiry is visiting Rashida. You know, the chick from last season, the one who looked like Ronald McDonald with a perm. She invites Tahiry over to help her with her wedding plans. And Tahiry is so selfish that she turned this meeting into a conversation about her and her dysfunctional relationship with Joe Budden. Rashida invites Tahiry to another event at the South Beach Lounge. She wants Tahiry to come have drinks and preferably a pina colada. Tahiry claims that she hates men now because we know Joe Budden is not an individual. He represents all men, of course. I mean, when you're a female, you can get away with saying stuff like, I hate all men. But, you know, anyway. In the next scene, Team Fake Lesbian, aka Erica and Sin, are shooting photos for Erica Mena's second book. And Rich shows up, and you guessed it, he has a drink. Anyway, Sin is questioning Rich on how he could give Erica Mena the "Where Do I Go From Here" record and then give it to Olivia, the chick who used to be 50 Cent's maid. Rich tells the girls that they have matching tits and tries to get them to kiss. Such a classy professional, Rich. And you're always drinking on the job to boot. No wonder Olivia and L'Oreal don't have careers at this time. Sin is pissing Rich off because she feels that Rich did her dirty with the whole giving the song to Olivia thing. Sin's reaction towards Rich is overwhelming to say the least. But the highlight, the true highlight of this scene is that mega epic vein in Erica Mena's forehead. I mean, Jesus is huge. That's what she said. Anyway, that big vein in Erica Mena's head tells me something. It tells me that she comes real hard. She's probably a projectile squirter. Don't ask how I know that. So now we're at Club Fit in New Jersey. Saigon, Peter, and Rich, aka the Goof Troop, are pretending to work out. Peter lets the guys know that he is married to Amina. And Saigon started telling polyamory and Mormon jokes. But it's okay, Saigon. I already covered that in an earlier review. Saigon felt like he was in jail again working out at the gym, because there was a guy standing behind them wearing orange doing barbell curls with an erection. Am I really the only one that saw that? Anyway, Saigon gave him the advice that was the exact opposite of what I would have said. Saigon told him he needs to patch things up with Tara. I would stick with Amina, but that's just me. So now we're at the South Beach in Washington Heights. Sin and Erica walk in, and out of nowhere, Rashida Ali out of nowhere runs up behind Erica Mena and slaps her on her tight ass hard. And I almost threw up. I'll never eat before reviewing again. So anyway, a little bit later, Rashida, Erica, and Sin are talking with Tahiry. And Tahiry tells the Latina lesbians that she has never kissed a woman, which is a lie. Because when Rashida invited her to this get-together, they kissed. Just goes to show you that Tahiry is untrustworthy. That's why I don't believe anything she says. Anyway, out of nowhere, skinhead Nia Lee pops up And in no time, she says something extremely ethnically sensitive. Brace yourself if you didn't see the episode. She first strikes with a jab by claiming that she is probably the only chick in there that hasn't fucked Joe Budden. Then she throws a powerful hook punch by saying, quote, "Spanish bitches is crazy. Y'all like sharing dick." Wow. Tahiry lets her know that she violated big time, and Erica snatches up Tahiry and walks away from Sinead Colored before the three Latinas had to jump her. Get it? Sinead O'Connor, Sinead Colored. No racism intended. So Naya apologizes to Tahiry, and of course Tahiry is dumb enough to forgive her and end the story. In the next scene, Erica pops up at the Blue Flame Agency in Midtown New York City to see Rich Dollaz. And yes, Rich has a drink. His office is full of apples and liquid. No kidding. Anyway, Erica doesn't want her new man Cynthia to mess up her money with Rich, so she brings that contract from a season or two ago and she pretends that it's signed already. But if you look closely at the video, it's not signed at all. So if you ever wondered whether or not this show was scripted. Anyway, Erica is once again wearing jeans that make her ass look like she's wearing a shitty diaper. I mean, where did she get these fugly jeans from? I'm just saying, if you need a stylist, Erica, let me know. So now we're back at Tira's shoe. And if you were wondering how small that box that she lives in is, let me explain it to you like this. She can't fit a coffee table in it. So she has to sit her drink on Peter's old bed, aka her couch. Now his bed is all wet and whatnot, and she's looking at some video online of Amina and Peter, a married couple playing golf at the same place that he used to take her. She begins flipping out like a psychopathic, homicidal maniac. She begins destroying Peter's stuff like Lisa Left Eye Lopez. I thought she was going to set the shoe on fire like Athlete's Foot. She cut his guitar strings, which are easy and cheap to replace. She destroyed his drums and his clothing, etc. And she is so psychotic that at one point she was cutting his drum with the scissors while holding them by the blade while they were open. She did not give a woo. She couldn't go get a knife. She had to hold the scissors by the blade. Yeah, she was out of it if she would risk cutting herself like that. The funny thing about it is she used to work at Sam Ash, which is a music store, so she probably used her employee discount to help Peter get that stuff. And with her destroying all these things, do you see why Amina would have been the one that I would have married? Anyway, Peter gets a text message saying that his belongings have been destroyed. He states that this erratic behavior is what drove him to marry another woman in the first place. Come to find out, Peter actually sleeps on that couch, and Tira was allegedly not even being intimate with him, probably because of his feet. I mean, anywhere he sleeps gets turned into a welcome mat. I wouldn't be surprised if the real reason that Joe Budden had to change them sheets on his bed is because Peter slept over, and Peter was at the foot and Joe was at the head, and coal miner Pinky stunk up and blackened up the pillowcases, forcing Joe Grimy Budden to have to change his own sheets. Just my observation. Anyway, Tira in her little woe is me confession was just ridiculous. No one's on your side, Tira. You should have broken up with him a long time ago. You like being in this mess. Okay? No one is rooting for any of the villains this time around. Just saying. Peter states that there's two sides to every story. So for all we know, she could have cheated on him at some point in the relationship. As hard as she goes against him for what he's doing, I honestly wouldn't be surprised. After some more arguing, Tira lets Peter know that she doesn't want to see him for a while. And I'm thinking that a while is until the next school day when he has to pick up and drop off the kids. Anyway, Peter walks out telling her that he loves her, yada yada yada. That was about it. One more thing before I go. I sent my favorite vampire a tweet saying, quote, "I'm Team Amina Butterfly. At Amina Butterfly is beautiful, talented, and even looked past Peter Gunn's foot hygiene to find love." And then I threw up the heart. And she tweeted me back saying, at Meat Magazine, laughing my off, thanks. Now, if you notice, she spelled thanks with two N's and an X. I have a theory that I have had for years now, and that's that women who are bad spellers are generally more faithful and loyal. Yeah, I sure can pick 'em. Don't judge me. Anyway, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel.